A group photo appears in the chat 10 minutes after dinner. Everyone is tagged. Everyone reposts it. Everyone except one person. They were there. They laughed. They smiled for the camera. But online, it is as if the evening never happened. Their profile has not changed in months. No birthday post. No vacation pictures. No relationship updates. People notice the silence and immediately begin explaining it. Maybe they are insecure. Maybe they hate how they look. Maybe their life is boring. Maybe they are hiding something. In a culture where visibility has become proof of existence, someone who refuses to display themselves can seem suspicious. But the real mystery is not why they post so little. It is why everyone else feels entitled to an explanation. Social media has quietly changed the meaning of privacy. Privacy once meant keeping something protected. Now it is often interpreted as absence. If there are no photos, people assume there are no memories. If there are no updates, they assume nothing meaningful is happening. Yet many people who rarely post are not disappearing. They are refusing to turn every experience into evidence. This is the contradiction at the center of digital silence. They may enjoy connection but dislike performance. They may care deeply about people but resist becoming content. Their life may be full while leaving almost no public record behind. Return to the dinner table. Someone lifts a phone before the food arrives. Plates are moved closer together. People lean in. A natural moment becomes a moment being prepared for display. The quiet person smiles, but something inside them steps backward. They know the photo is not only a memory, it will become a signal. Who was invited? Who looks happy? Who appears successful? The image will leave the table and enter a room filled with invisible observers. The discomfort may not be about the picture itself. It may be about losing control over what the moment becomes once other people begin interpreting it. That need for control often has a history. Perhaps they grew up in a home where personal information traveled quickly. A private feeling became a family discussion. A mistake became a story told at dinner. A vulnerable moment returned later as a joke. The lesson was simple. Once something leaves your hands, it no longer belongs entirely to you. From that experience, an internal belief forms. What is exposed can be judged, misunderstood, or used. The protective reaction is selective visibility. They share with individuals, not audiences. They send a photo directly to one friend, but never place it on a public page. The external behavior looks distant. The internal motive may be protection. This is the psychological chain beneath one kind of empty profile. The event is being asked to display a personal moment. The past experience is losing control of something private. The belief is that visibility creates vulnerability. The defensive reaction is withholding. The visible behavior is silence. But there is another version of the person who does not post. They may have once posted constantly. They remember uploading a photo and checking the screen every few minutes. Who liked it? Who ignored it? Was the number high enough? A good moment became tied to its public response. Happiness stopped feeling complete until other people confirmed it. Eventually, the person noticed the transaction. They were not simply sharing their life. They were handing strangers a small vote on how that life should feel. So the profile went quiet. Not because they stopped caring what people thought, but because they understood how easily the mind can be trained to care. The central metaphor is a shop window. Social media invites people to arrange selected parts of life behind glass. The lighting is controlled. The best objects are moved to the front. Anything confusing, unfinished, or painful remains in the back room. The display is not always false. The objects are real. But the arrangement creates an illusion of completeness. A smiling vacation photo can be taken during an argument. An anniversary post can hide a relationship already collapsing. Confidence can be performed with the same tools used to hide insecurity. Once someone sees the shop window as a construction, competing with it begins to feel pointless. But this is where the flattering explanation falls apart. Posting less does not automatically mean confidence. Posting more does not automatically mean insecurity. Silence online is not a personality test with one attractive answer. Some people protect privacy. Others fear criticism. Some no longer need public approval. Others avoid being seen because being seen has become painful. A secure person may think, this moment does not need an audience. An insecure person may think, if I post this, everyone will notice what is wrong with me. Both profiles remain empty. The code lies in the feeling behind the silence. The deeper question is not how often someone posts. It is whether they control the act of sharing or whether sharing controls them. One person uploads a photo and forgets about it. Another spends the next hour monitoring reactions. One keeps an account private because intimacy matters. Another keeps it empty because exposure feels unbearable. The behavior looks identical. The internal relationship with attention is completely different. People who rarely post may still reveal themselves deeply in private. They send long messages to a close friend. They share photos directly with the people who were part of the moment. Their social world is not necessarily smaller. It is less public. They prefer connection with a recipient rather than a performance for an audience. An audience receives a version of the person. A recipient receives something from the person. Public sharing asks, "How will this look?" Private sharing asks, "Who do I want to experience this with?" For some minds, the second question feels more honest. There is also a quieter reason people stop posting: exhaustion. Social media can create constant self-observation. Is this worth sharing? Does this photo look good? Will this seem arrogant, desperate, boring, or strange? Part of the mind begins watching life from the imagined perspective of other people. A beautiful view becomes a possible story. A meal becomes a composition. A friendship becomes evidence of belonging. The person is no longer only living the moment. They are editing it while it happens. Refusing to post can be a refusal to carry that invisible camera inside the head. The photo can remain on the phone. The joke can remain at the table. The achievement can remain known only to the people who helped create it. Nothing becomes less real because it was not displayed. But digital silence can also create conflict. A partner asks, "Why do you never post us?" One person thinks privacy protects the relationship. The other hears secrecy. One thinks, "What matters does not need to be displayed." The other thinks, "If I matter, why am I being hidden?" This is where privacy stops being a simple sign of confidence. The same silence that protects one person can make another feel erased. They are not necessarily arguing about Instagram. They are speaking different psychological languages of recognition. And sometimes the person who claims not to care about posting still cares deeply about how their silence is interpreted. They want to remain private without being seen as lonely, insecure, or unsuccessful. Even withdrawal can become another form of image management. The profile says nothing, but the silence may still be carefully defended. That is the final contradiction. Escaping performance can itself become part of the performance. Return to the group photo. Everyone reposts it except one person. Earlier, their silence looked like absence. Now it could mean protection, fear, exhaustion, independence, or a need to control how they are seen. Perhaps they no longer want likes deciding how a memory feels. Perhaps they are afraid of judgment. Perhaps the evening already felt complete before the photograph appeared. The empty profile cannot tell us which explanation is true. That is the point. Online visibility gives the illusion that people can be understood through what they display. Silence removes that illusion. It forces others to confront how little they actually know. The person who never posts may not be hiding from life. They may be hiding life from the machinery that turns private moments into public information. The laughter still happened. The friendship still mattered. The memory still belongs to them. In a world where everyone is encouraged to live behind glass, refusing to build a shop window can look like invisibility. Sometimes it is insecurity. Sometimes it is protection. Sometimes it is freedom. But it is never as simple as having nothing to show.